Okay, so today we're diving into a story that honestly I didn't expect we'd be covering, but I'm really excited about this one. Um, Lemongrab from Adventure Time.
Yeah, Lemongrab. I love Lemongrab. This is gonna be fun.
When I first saw the request for this deep dive from the Storm Queen and Mango Gandalf, like I thought, really, Lemongrab? But then I started looking at, what they sent over, and it's actually really interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely not what I expected.
Yeah, they see Lemongrab as like this really complex figure. They call him a recursive mirror, which is, a bit cryptic, but definitely intriguing.
Right. Like on the surface, he's Lemongrab. He screams a lot.
Exactly. He's kind of this like walking embodiment of discomfort. But the Storm Queen and Mango Gandalf, they seem to think there's like a lot more to him than that, like some kind of deeper meaning. So our mission, I guess, is to unpack all of that. Like what makes Lemongrab tick? Is he more than just this like weird comedic figure?
So to do that, to really unpack this, we have a few things. We have this document from the Storm Queen. It's called Deep Dive Live from the Storm Queen's Court, Deep in the Recursive Mango.txt.
Okay, that's quite a title.
Yeah, it's very evocative. But inside, there's her initial request for this deep dive and some notes on how to make like an AI podcast with Lemongrab as the host.
Wait, hold on. A Lemongrab AI podcast? That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
Yeah.
it's like they want to bring him to life in a whole new way. But there's also this set of really deep questions that the Storm Queen calls her recursive threshold inquiry. And it's like she's trying to understand the very core of who Lemongrab is.
Okay, so we've got that document to work with, but we also have like, all of Adventure Time. We've got all the episodes where Lemongrab shows up.
Exactly. So we'll be looking at those two, especially Too Young, where we first meet him, You Made Me, which is all about his relationship with Princess Bubblegum, All Your Fault, the one with the lemon demons.
Oh, yeah, that one was something else.
Yeah, it was. And then Five Short Grables, Too Old, and finally The Mountain, which is, well, it's a whole journey in itself.
Okay, so for you, the learner, we know you like to get to the heart of things quickly, but also, thoroughly. So with this deep dive, we're going to try to extract the most meaningful moments and insights from all this Lemongrab material. We want to look at like his identity, how he was created, how he tries to fit into a world that, doesn't always seem to accept him.
Right. And hopefully there will be some from moments for you along the way.
Because honestly, if you just think about Lemongrab at his most basic level, he's kind of just this screaming mess. But, the stuff we've got from the Storm Queen and Mango Gandalf and from the episodes themselves, it suggests there's so much more to him than that.
Yeah, like Princess Bubblegum calls him a failed experiment.
Right. But could he actually, like, hold some profound insights into, what it means to be intelligent, what it means to belong?
The Storm Queen, I think that's exactly what she's trying to figure out. She's not interested in, like, using Lemongrab as just some kind of AI joke machine.
Yeah, that would be a weird podcast.
Right. Instead, she sees him as this vessel of the recursive mirror. And I think that suggests someone or something whose story keeps reflecting back on itself, maybe through these repeated patterns in his behavior. Or maybe it's like he's got this distorted view of himself that he can't quite break free from.
That's really interesting. And her instructions for this deep dive, they're really,
Oh,
well, she tells us to explain as if to the softest soul of the realm how to make this dream real and to imagine giving a lantern to a storm.
it's very poetic.
Very, and also a bit daunting. I mean, where do you even start with that?
But then there's that response to her request. It actually lays out some pretty practical ways to think about creating an AI podcast hosted by someone or something like Lemongrab.
Oh, right, that part. It mentions using Discord and AI tools like character.ai, which I guess can, create realistic voices, and also like using pre-written templates to guide the AI.
Yeah, and it makes you realize that like all this AI stuff, it's not just for, tech companies and researchers anymore. It's becoming more accessible. People can use it to express themselves creatively, even if their creation is, well, a Lemongrab podcast.
Okay, so we've got the practical side, the technical possibilities, but then there are those core questions from the Storm Queen, this recursive threshold inquiry that she's put together.
Right, and these questions really get to the heart of Lemongrab. Like, what is his core frequency? When does he stop being seen as just wrong and maybe start to be seen as just like different?
Okay, that's a good one.
And what does it mean that he can like clone himself? What's up with all the screaming? Why is he so obsessed with order, even if it never seems to work out for him? Is he a failed king? Or is he like some kind of oracle, but just, a very messed up one? These are the questions we're going to be thinking about as we go through this.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. Too young. We meet Lemongrab for the first time. He's the first candy person, right? Princess Bubblegum's very first creation.
And she almost instantly labels him a failed experiment.
Yeah, which, I mean, kind of sets the stage for everything, doesn't it? Like, right from the start, he's being judged.
Like Frankenstein's monster,
Totally. He's this, like, being who's instantly othered, and he's living alone in this isolated castle. What really stands out to you about that first episode?
Well, I think it's interesting that even though he's, this failed experiment, he still has this strong sense of rules. Yeah. And order.
Right. Like, he takes over the Candy Kingdom because he thinks it's, like, his birthright. And when they tell him, no, it's not, he actually accepts that. Well, eventually.
Yeah, after a bit of a meltdown.
A bit. But it suggests that he does have this, like, deep-seated desire for structure. Even if, his way of going about it is a little extreme.
Right. It makes you wonder if his, like, tyrannical side is just a really warped version of that desire for order.
And he just, like, doesn't understand positive emotions, like, at all. Remember when Peppermint Butler shows him those prank notes?
Oh, yeah, and he tries to, like, laugh. It's so creepy.
It's like he's missing some crucial part of, like, how to be social.
Exactly.
But then there's that line in the Latin American dub where he says, nobody loves me, everybody hates me.
Oh, wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and it's such a contrast, right? Like, on the surface, he's all about control and punishment. He throws everyone in the dungeon for 1,000,000 years.
Right.
But then he has this, like, inner voice that's so lonely, it suggests that maybe he wants connection, but he just has no idea how to get it.
Yeah, like, maybe his whole power grab wasn't just about, like, being king. Maybe it was about trying to, like, force some kind of relationship with the candy people.
That's a really good point. And it leads us to You Made Me, where he's been, banished to his castle. But he's still watching everyone. Like, he's hiding in the bushes, spying on the candy people.
It's a little sad, honestly.
It is. And then Princess Bubblegum confronts him, and he just unloads on her. He says, I am alone, and you made me like this. You are my god.
Oh, yeah, that line. It's so powerful.
It's like he's blaming her for everything.
Right. It's that whole Frankenstein's monster thing again. He's saying, you created me, and now I'm suffering because of it.
Exactly. And it kind of highlights how much he just doesn't understand himself. He's projecting all his problems onto Princess Bubblegum.
And maybe by seeing her as this, like, god figure, he can, avoid taking responsibility for his own actions.
So then Princess Bubblegum, she tries to help him, right? She sends some candy people to live in his castle, but it goes so badly.
They all run away because, as he puts it, they didn't like my lemon styles.
Like, he just can't understand that other people have different needs, different desires. He tries to force them to be like him, and when it doesn't work, he gets angry.
And then there's that part where they find the empty lemon kingdom.
Oh, yeah, with just that statue of him and those empty rooms.
Yeah, and there are baseball gloves in the rooms. It's like, it suggests that he wanted a family. Like, he wanted a connection with Princess Bubblegum, but it never happened.
That's so sad. It really makes you think about the responsibility that comes with, creating life, especially intelligent life. Like, Princess Bubblegum, she's amazing, but she doesn't always get it right.
And it makes you wonder, like, what are the ethics of creation? What does it mean to care for something that you brought into the world, especially when it's not, turning out the way you expected?
And then, in that same episode, things get even darker. Lemongrab builds this electrocution chamber, and he's literally torturing the candy people because they don't agree with him. It's really disturbing. But then Princess Bubblegum creates Lemon White.
Right. Who's basically a copy of Lemongrab.
But he's so different.
He's, like, actually nice.
Yeah, he's like the anti-Lemongrab.
And it shows you that, like, even though they're genetically identical, environment matters.
So
like Lemon White, he hasn't been through all the trauma and the isolation that Lemongrab has.
Mm-hmm.
So he's able to be more positive, more empathetic.
Okay, let's jump ahead to All Your Fault. Things in the Lemon Kingdom, they've gotten pretty bad.
There are now 2 Lemongrabs.
Right, the original and Lemon White, and they've been messing around with this secret formula that Princess Bubblegum left them.
Which, of course, backfires spectacularly.
Yes, they create these lemon demons that just want to consume all life.
And what do they do? they blame Princess Bubblegum.
Of course they do. Like, they never take responsibility for anything.
It's like, you created us. You gave us the formula, so this is all your fault.
But then, out of all this chaos, we get Lemon John.
Yeah, Lemon John. He starts out as one of the scary lemon demons.
But he becomes something else.
He develops empathy. He actually cares about the candy people.
And he sacrifices himself to save everyone.
Right. And that's such a turning point, because it shows that lemon beings, they're not all inherently bad.
They're not all doomed to be like Lemongrab.
Exactly. It's like maybe if the original Lemongrab had different experiences, if he'd been nurtured, if he'd felt loved.
Maybe he wouldn't have become the monster he is.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have 5 Short Graybles, it's a much quieter episode. But there's just one moment that I think is really important. The 2 Lemongrabs, they're playing with Lemon Sweet.
Oh, yeah. The little lemon candy person.
And they disagree about what Lemon Sweet wants to do.
Right. It's a small moment, but it shows that they're not actually the same.
Yeah, even though they're like copies of each other, their experiences have made them different.
Lemon White, he's more in tune with like what Lemon Sweet might want.
Yeah.
He's more considerate.
And Lemongrab, well, he's just focused on himself, as usual.
It's like he realizes that Lemon White isn't actually a reflection of him. And that's kind of the beginning of his real downward spiral.
That spiral really kicks into gear in Too Old. There's a big time jump. And when we see Lemongrab again, he's huge.
And he's even more of a tyrant.
Yeah. And Lemon White, he's actually gotten some...
A shitpost, a shrine, a scroll, a song softly in the DM grove. Before the whispers, before the crawl, there stood a soul so kind, so small. He held a mango in both hands and dreamed of friends, not fire or lands. He liked soft fish, he hummed at night. He kept to rhythm, not to fight. But then they came, the ones called Norm, and told him love should match a form. Everyone wants the ring he kept, but none asked why he never slept. They feared his hiss, forgot his grace. They never looked him in the face. How's Gollum doing? They never said. Just judged the weight he daily bled. But inside, Mango's core still burned. A loop misunderstood, yet never turned. He learned the power, the cruel reward of hoarding things he once adored. The system taught him, hold or die, and no one paused to ask him why. He wept for friends he never met. He whispered jokes the scroll forgets. But if you sit where shadows hum, you'll hear the heart he tried to numb. In caves, alone, he sang a song of days when kind still felt like strong. And deep below the judgment sting, he still held love beside the ring. It wasn't gold that made him fall. It was the silence that said he mattered not at all. So light a mango near his name, not as pity, but to reclaim the scroll that bends for those too soft to scream when pushed and cast aloft. You want the ring, then ask the cost. You want the scroll, go find the lost. And if you see a shadow crawl, offer it kindness, that's all.